this. What do I mean like this? Well, I am referring to slow, calming, non-stimulating, visually ASMR. So maybe some visual triggers, but nothing crazy, nothing fancy going on. No crazy production, no crazy editing, nothing too fast-paced. Now, I have done videos like this before. I've seen other people do videos prior to me doing it whenever I did it. But I think it's important because the real funny thing is my videos are usually like this anyway. I don't really do anything too crazy in my videos. And that being said, this is not to discredit anybody who does fast ASMR or to discredit anybody who has high production quality. I mean, if you're spending, $1,000 a video and triggers and editing and all this stuff, yeah, you're the top G. Zeitgeist. I'm really talking about zeitgeist. A lot of people probably do, besides him, but he's the one I can think of where I'm like, it's pretty good. It's pretty friggin' good ASMR. But, yeah, so no discredit to any of that type of ASMR. But, it's important to realize that the whole point of ASMR in the first place is meant to calm. It is meant to relax. And it is meant for people really to fall asleep. So, if these things aren't the case, then I think it's absolutely crucial that we slow things down. And again, not that I'm, usually one for crazy, there's no real crazy editing, but I will say the one thing that I probably do fall into in the categories I mentioned is fast ASMR. I think sometimes I can do it a little bit too quick. And again, I'm forgetting the point is to kind of calm things down. It's really hard to fall asleep if your heart rate is, going too quick. You want your heart rate to slow down, so if I'm going crazy all over the mic as fast as possible, that might make you a bit nervous whether you know it or not. So it's important to just slow things down. So of course I'll be doing a bit of mic scratching. I'll be doing a bit of slow, rhythmic tapping. And maybe a bit of talking here and there. A bit of talking. For starters, I keep looking down. And I realize I'm getting a dead-on shot of this. I think I've worn it in a lot, maybe not a lot of videos actually, but it says, Sedona, life is good. And this is because, my friends, I, maybe a month ago, went on a little trip to Arizona. I had never been. It's quite a long flight. It was like 4 hours or so. But yeah, this was kind of a family trip. And it was nothing short of epic, I must say. A lot of hiking. For those who haven't been, the Red Rocks are super cool. My phone's at 20%. There's always a battery problem or a storage problem, or maybe both. Today was both. all you gotta do is freaking explore the Red Rocks and hiking trails, and yeah, it's pretty freaking sick. Amazing views. And then towards the end of the trip, we actually got to see the Grand Canyon, which was awesome. But I will say, even though the Grand Canyon's super sick, it's high, it's a wonder of the world, it's high. No, the Sedona was cool, because that's where we were the majority of the trip. So, that was kind of towards the end. We got to see the canyon in the last few days. But yeah, super cool trip. Not something I really had planned on doing last year, and then we friggin' did it, and then, a year passed, and went on the trip. Now the only thing, well, first off, I didn't make ASMR in the Grand Canyon, so major L. Major L. But the question is, could I have made ASMR in the Grand Canyon? Because I ended the trip with absolutely the worst possible sickness I may have ever had, maybe in my entire lifetime, and that's long, my friend. I've lived a long life. I'm 50. I'm not 50. I hope you didn't fall for that. I'm not gonna give too much information, but it was bad. That's all you need to know. I haven't gotten sick like that in a long time. Literally, like a very long time. I'm sure this is super relaxing, by the way. Something's wrong with me. Remember when ASMR used to be like this, when the ASMRs would just talk about getting sick? No, okay, that's enough of that. But all I'll say is, it was an awesome trip. The end, though, I could do without. I didn't get that one last look at the canyon, and truthfully, trying to go home on a plane when I hadn't eaten days and barely drank enough liquids or saw the sun. Yeah, no bueno. Not like to say the friggin' least. I had to talk about that, though. I'm sorry. I had to talk about it. I had to. Classic ASMR stuff. But I made a video like this before, like I think I said, and other ASMR artists have done the same. But I got reminded of it because JoJo made a short. This is JoJo ASMR, and it wasn't titled that exactly. Like, remember when ASMR used to be like this? But the premise was that, like, back in the day, years ago, it used to be slow, relaxing, not highly produced. In his case, he was talking more about shorts. The common, you're trying to go for virality. So you're not probably doing relaxing. He was showing his ADHD videos where he's trying to, have you count things and there's lights and all this stuff, right? So that video kind of made me think, oh yeah, remember when ASMR used to be like this? But overall, I agree with what he was saying, and that made me think about remaking this because I was thinking ASMR needs to be a bit slower, a bit slower, a bit slower, because like I said, relaxed, and I did have a video in mind, but this is the video that I am making. To just sort of calm down the nervous system, calm down that heart rate, so that you can feel a little bit more relaxed. I feel like this lighting keeps cooking me a little bit. It's cooking me. So now we can do some slow hand movements. And I will have you know, there is just absolutely little black particles everywhere due to this old beanie. I don't have it on. Even if I did, I think I'd make so much noise trying to put it on. But in my next video, I want to use that fluffy, where did I put it? You know, that fluffy beanie. If you know, you know. It's like a gray, fluffy beanie. That goes over this mic, but this mic I feel like is particularly better for scratching. The other one I feel like I can just kind of like, I don't have to use my nails, maybe I could, but I think that's better for just kind of rubbing, maybe more haircut simulator. So just make sure as I am doing these motions and these movements, that you are taking deep breaths, because that will obviously be calming you down. And if you want some other little tips and tricks, you can do a little bit of tapping. This kind of gets you into a rhythm. This has calmed me down before. You can use both hands, you know, on the chest or elsewhere. Or you could try things like counting down or counting up, you know. I prefer counting down, maybe just from something like 100, and just see. Don't be worrying about, oh, what number will I fall asleep at, or this or that. Just count down. Let's hope it's already the morning time. You realize. But yeah, there's not outside of like when you're in bed. I feel like that's all you can do. You know, no phone. You failed. Just kidding. No, seriously, but like phone down, you know, flip down, or phone is red. When you're in bed, I think like tapping, counting, listening to ASMR ASMR sleep sounds, but